So Apple has released a bunch of stuff at the Apple event, and people talk about it, but Apple released the Apple Watch Series 7, and one of the new things is the ability to have a full-sized keyboard right on the watch. And it's kind of a big deal because the screen is really small, and it's kind of a new thing because in the past we did not have such options. I actually made a video just about that, about the ways how you can input text on the Apple Watch, and I mostly talked about the scribble feature, how you can enable it, and also dictation and the prepared options and replies. But the keyboard, as I said, was only available as a third-party app, and that really sucked, and let me tell you why. The reason for it was that you had to at first download a third-party app with the keyboard, but every time you wanted to use it, you just had to close the messages, for example, open up the third-party app, type something in using their keyboard, copy the text or whatever you wrote, and paste it somewhere else, for example, to the messages. Which in fact defeats the purpose of the convenience that the keyboard should bring you, and it's really not a good idea to use third-party apps. So it's definitely a great thing that the Apple Watch is now supporting this. Well, is your Apple Watch going to support it, or will you get it? If you decide to buy an upgrade to the Series 7, then of course, but on the older versions of the Apple Watch, most likely not. And the reason is, on the one hand, that they want you to upgrade to the Series 7, but also the screen isn't that big, because there was a screen increase on the Series 7, and I mean, if you think about it, it would be really difficult to type using a keyboard or on something like the Apple Watch Series 3, especially the smaller 38mm one. It would just be unbearable, and nobody would be able to use that keyboard. By the way, guys, if you're new on this channel, on the Apple Fox channel, then you just can consider subscribing because it kind of makes sense, and yeah, you will stay updated, and it also helps the channel. And if you like the watch face that I currently have on my Apple Watch, then there is a link to it down below in the description. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. So the great thing about the new keyboard is that there are some ways or multiple ways how you can input text even on that keyboard. So you can type it letter by letter just like you would normally do, but you can also use the swipe feature to type really quickly. As of the accuracy or how well it does work, we're gonna have to test it out, but it seems well, especially from Apple, and their software features usually work well when they get so public. When they get released, they probably have some testing behind them, so I believe that it should work well. And another great advantage is that it's going to be integrated right inside apps, like definitely in the messages, probably in the email, and I'm not sure about the third-party apps integration because I believe that developers should have the access to that keyboard, but we're going to have to wait and see. I believe that they're going to make it available, but it definitely is going to be in the stock Apple Watch apps. It is also going to mean that the emojis can be typed in a bit easier, in a bit easier way, let's say, because as of right now, because if you go to the Apple Watch and you go to the messages and you want to send an emoji after a text or in between the text, like in between the words, it's kind of difficult, probably not possible, because if I click on the emoji, it's just going to be sent right away. And in Apple's demo, we can see that the emoji is just added right after the word, and it's not like sent separately. Because on my Apple Watch, I usually just rely either on sending the emojis individually or just using the good old typed emoji faces, which it's okay, I guess, but it's nice to have the option to integrate or like to put the emojis right in between among the words. So yeah, that's definitely a great thing. When it comes to the languages of the keyboards, well, we don't have any information about it, and you may think that it's not that big of a deal, but when Apple released Scribble, it wasn't available for all languages, and it still isn't. So if you would like to use the Scribble on your Apple Watch and your main language is Hungarian, for example, then of course your keyboard is in that language, and on the Apple Watch you cannot use the scribble, so you have to add English keyboard and access it that way. So let's see if the keyboard will actually be available for all languages on the Apple Watch, or what's gonna happen. I mean, as of right now, we don't have any information about that. And if there is anyone that would say something about customization of the keyboard on the Apple Watch, I would just tell them to slow down. Like, Apple just released it. It's kind of a big deal that we at least have it and not just to customize it. I mean, that would just be too much to ask for. So as of right now, I would end the video right here because there isn't anything else what I could say. Like I already mentioned, you can subscribe, you can leave the thumbs up. It does help the channel a lot, and it also makes sure that you stay updated if you subscribe. And you can also check out the Apple Watch face, the one I currently wear on my wrist on the Apple Watch. The link can be found in the description. So thanks a lot for watching, your support, and see you guys later in the next video.